Hello and welcome. Now here's a video for you. Loads of people are buying German prestige cars or supercars or luxury cars to look cool. Well, why not buy a rare, cool car for less money than a BMW 5 Series? Here in Europe, we've got loads of them. Have a look at some of these. First car, the Deltane Pegasus. How cool is this? How gorgeous is this? Designed by Richard Oakes, a genius. He designed the Nova in 1972, which in America was sold as the Sterling. But this is one of his. Jaguar V12 engine, Jaguar running gear. Peter Pellandine, the guy behind Deltane, and a bit of a, it's a fantastic little car. It deserved to do well. What happened? He was going to sell them as a kit car in the UK. Then the French government thought, oh, this looks good. We'll give him some money, set up production in France and produce them as a low-volume sports car, turnkey. Who wouldn't say yes to that? Well, the French changed their mind. So you could say this is now as rare as a politician's apology. Thanks to the French pulling out, the car never went into production. If you can find one, it's ultra rare, ultra cool, Jaguar V12 running gear. What's not to love? Now, before he went to the French, he took the Pellandine to TVR. They didn't do anything with it, but a couple of years later, they came up with this, the next car, the Griffith, the coolest and best looking car TVR have ever made. First of all with a 4-litre or 4.3-litre Rover V8, later 5 litres. It's drop dead gorgeous, not as rare as the other cars here, but definitely rare in America. And you tell me, is that not the look of a modern Cobra? It is the coolest. And the engine note, the V8 bass rumble. You can't find better. And in the UK, you can pick them up for less than a brand new BMW 5 Series. Which would you rather be seen in? Next car, the Renault Sport Spider. Yeah, even the French occasionally come up with a good idea. This one had a bonded and riveted aluminium chassis before Lotus started doing it. In fact, it influenced the Lotus with a GRP body. Unfortunately, the French managed to find a way of making it heavy. Don't ask me how, just call it French genius. Anyway, it's ultra rare, ultra cool, kinda cute, handles okay. I bet there aren't many in America. Gotta be cooler than a BMW 5 Series that costs way more money. And it's gotta be cooler than a lot of cars that you'll see when you drive around. For example, get a load of those doors. That's cool, man. Now, I mentioned that Lotus were influenced by the Sport Spider. Yeah. And Americans have started buying the Lotus Elise, which is pushing the prices up over here. But that's okay, because we've got the Vauxhall Opel VX 220. Same chassis as the Lotus Elise, but bigger engine. 2.2 normally aspirated or turbocharged GM engine, driving the rear wheels, cool looking, GRP body over the bonded and riveted aluminium chassis from the Elise. This is a cool car, and you can buy one for not a lot of dosh. Money, that is, for you guys. And you gotta tell me, is that not the coolest thing you could be driving down the road? Hey, don't say I didn't tell you. Now, after the deal with GM ended, Lotus was stuck with a chassis design, nothing to do with it. Parent company Proton said, we'll have a sports car. Great, said Lotus. So they designed a sports car with a cool coupe body that would have had aircon and luxuries, which is more required for the Malaysian market. Then Proton changed their minds. So Lotus, being clever, put the 2.2 litre engine from the VX220 into this, called it the Lotus Europa, and nobody bought it. So these are now ultra rare. The Elise chassis, the Vauxhall VX220, 2.2 litre, normally aspirated or turbo, and a luxury interior. Ultra rare. Before the Renault Sport Spider, same factory, the Alpine GTA, a cool rear-engined V6 turbo French car, and a French supercar at that. Room for a couple of tiny kiddies in the back because it's a 2+2, like the Porsche 911, but you can't tell me that the Porsche 911 is cooler than this. Why didn't it sell in the UK? Well, over here it was sold with Renault badges. In Europe, it was sold with Alpine badges, as it should have been. But they didn't sell very well. So these are now rare. And they handle really well. And what have you got to lose? Okay, it's not that reliable. This is the A610, which is basically the facelifted version, pop-up headlamps. Still didn't sell that well. And still got the V6 turbo engine, 155 top speed. Cool car. How about this? If you want something more practical, the Renault Avantime Coupe, or Coupe as you guys wrongly call it. This is based on the Renault Espace, designed by Matra at their Dieppe factory. Now, the original Espace was based on a galvanised steel chassis with a GRP body. Then Renault, in their infinite wisdom, decided to throw away this brilliant idea and produce them in steel. This left the Dieppe factory twiddling their thumbs. Renault said, don't worry, you're not going to lose your jobs. We'll design a cool coupe to be based on the Espace, and loads of people will buy them. Nobody bought them. But that makes it even more cool and rare. You can drive your family around in this and you can't tell me that it won't stand out. A lot of them were in really crazy colours too. Give us the thumbs up, hit the thumbs up, and whilst you're at it, hit the bell and subscribe. Your support is always appreciated here.